Uncle Dig's garden update. Hello. It is September 8th, 2024, and I am in gardening zone 8B, and this is Uncle Dig with your garden update. I am so busy. Happy harvest season. I am pulling peppers every day from my pepper plants, and I am pickling peppers every weekend. In fact, I'll be pickling peppers later tonight or in the morning, depending on how the next few hours of my day goes. But before we get into the outdoor harvest season, let's talk about the eternal indoor sunshine of the grow light. My small but mighty indoor garden is pumping away. First, in the photo period tent, we have a super skunk seedling that is taking forever to finish at 65 days. It looks a little rough, and I may have to pull it prematurely because of how hard into the fade it is going. These trichomes are just not turning amber, though. Weird. I really need to have the trichomes start to turn amber before I pull normally. We'll see how it goes. So even though I expected to be pulling a bit of indoor by now, it is not quite time. The other indoor plant, the Maruf Red clone, is still flowering as well. But I did expect her to take a little longer, as someone told me that Maruf Red is a 10 to 12 weeker. Wah, wah, wah. I usually don't go for long flowering strains. Hopefully, this will be the last time. Now, in my second 2x2, I just have one plant, the Auto Flower, the Anvil F9 from Gnome Automatics. It is a vigorous grower, but does seem to take a while to wake up when the light comes on and goes to sleep way early. What I mean by that is that a lot of cannabis plants droop at night or when the lights go off. But when the sun or the lights come on, they gradually perk up. This plant takes like 3 hours to perk up, but is otherwise healthy and vibrant and green. At first, I thought it was a watering issue, but she did the same thing during a dryback, so I don't know. Otherwise, she is a happy, healthy plant with vigorous but unremarkable growth for an autoflower. I hope that she's as large as some of the phenotypes I've seen other people get from these seeds. Now let's move on to the outdoor photo periods. So speaking about the outdoor garden, I've had a few issues, not with nutrient burn, thank heavens, or watering issues, but with some weird residue appearing on one of my plants and a severe aphid outbreak. Firstly, the residue appeared on the If I Could Turn Mac Pine 3 and only the If I Could Turn Mac Pine 3, and it first appeared like powdery mildew. I thought that it was maybe from the bout of rain we had or maybe something else. I consulted other growers and I couldn't figure it out for a couple of days. I didn't know if it was powdery mildew or whatever. I was able to rinse it off and pick off the affected leaves. The small burgeoning flowers were unaffected. I threw out my IPM spray bottle and haven't had any issues since. Beyond something I might have accidentally cultured in an old spray bottle, that plant is a little too close to my porch roof, so I worry that when with that hard rain we had, something might have splashed off of the roof onto the plant. So I'm probably either going to move that pot next year or just not grow 8 plants and grow 7 instead, so I can eliminate that possible roof runoff issue. Other than that, and the reason I never had a problem with the bottles before is because I always throw them out because they break before cleaning really becomes an issue. That was not the case with this. I'm now going to use up all IPM and really keep my bottles clean, hoping that takes care of some of this issue that I've been having. It's weird that none of the other plants had the issue with the weird residue, maybe powdery mildew, because they're not near the house. And that's the only way I can figure that they didn't have the reason. That's why I lean toward the house. But the other, If I Could Turn Mac Pines, have big, healthy, beautiful nugs, and I look forward to seeing how they smell when they're done. Big thanks to Cave Main from Gemseeker Genetics for hooking me up with these beans. Now, about the aphid outbreak, it rained and then it was really hot, and that can result in pest outbreaks. I also hadn't been spraying the CBD at all. Well, on the first plant of the CBD Dutch treat, I ended up with really, really bad aphid infestation. So I thought, so they say you can spray this Cantrol from Mammoth Pea in flower, so I guess I'm going to try it out. So I decided to spray all the plants, including the CBD Dutch treat, which is past mid-flower, with a normal strength mix of Cantrol from Mammoth Pea. It did knock back the aphid infestation completely on the other plants, but just dented this one. So I cut my losses and harvested the first CBD Dutch treat a week early. So, happy harvest season. These nugs are quite big, and I look forward to seeing how much weight that little plant produced. Hopefully more than a half pound. We shall see. I may have to throw some out due to aphids. We will see. It is hanging and drying right now. All 7 other outdoor plants are going to go through an intensive IPM regimen before they get too deep into flower. I am hoping that with the colder temps coming, the pest won't reproduce quite so quickly, and the ladybugs and stuff will be able to keep up. The other CBD Dutch treat will probably be harvested in the next couple of weeks. The Afghan, however, is just starting to flower and will probably push my harvest season into like November. We'll see. The super skunks are in early to mid flower, and so are the If I Could Turn Mac Pine. Happy harvest season, folks. Stay safe, and may all the rippers be struck blind if they lay eyes on your garden. Hey, stay tuned. I've got more kick-ass interviews coming. I'll see y'all soon.